I do want to talk just a little bit about the purpose of the climate right. Our organization, CSCS, we come with a conviction that the climate issue is at least one of the, if not the most important issue. We also have a conviction that Anabaptist communities have something unique and important to say to that. Raising awareness, a large part of that is having the conversations, and conversations are about listening to the stories that people have, listening to the concerns and different perspectives that people have. So that is really what this ride is about.
The total trip across the country is 3,800 miles or so, across the 13 states. Elevation gain is over 120,000 feet.
There are kind of four main event locations. So Seattle will be one, Lincoln, Goshen, and DC.
The idea is to kind of engage local community members along the way and have either kind of like a discussion, a panel, visiting a farm, visiting a church.
I'm Anna. I biked today. I'm very tired. This is a very physically intense journey.
Of course, there was some amount of getting used to doing 70-mile days as frequently as we are.
I feel like the first 2 days, I still had the adrenaline, and then it got really, really hot.
So the hills and the heat, we were out in the sun for super long periods of time, no shade, heat bearing down on us.
A big obstacle has definitely been the gravel we've been on.
There was like a week, just like gravel every single day, and people were just feeling it in their bones because you're shaking all day.
They're out across a lot of different terrain, rough gravel roads through the mountains of Montana and Wyoming.
There was a lot of long mileage days. We went over the Bighorns. We had a century before that. We had a century after that.
And so I think a lot of us just felt super overwhelmed.
For like the third and fourth day, I just crashed.
We had done more biking than most people will ever do in their lifetime or in a single day.
But kind of with the help of the leaders and definitely kind of team encouragement, it's been really fun to kind of all get up to the level that we need to be at for biking.
I am so shocked at like the mental and physical progress I feel like I've made in the first 10 days.
Everyone on the team at one point after the Bighorns in the beginning of the Midwest were like, yeah, I'm not worried about getting to the end. I can totally do it.
And it felt like, okay, we've conquered this. We can sort of conquer everything.
So the focus has been a lot of like getting to know our bikes and getting to know each other. And now I think the focus will be a lot more on learning about the places that we're going through and having those intentional conversations, whether it's on the bike or even just like we have a lot more events coming up that I think will spark really good conversations.
Is it not the land in which we will be interned at the end of the day? The land is home, host, and I think we also deserve to give it more hospitality. Watching conventional farmers overloading fertilizer on the land and then the land deciding it's tired, it's got nothing to give. I learned to also see the land hitting back.
We are leveraging a tax on unborn generations. So unborn generations are going to pay for what we are loading into the environment today in our lust for security.
For me, an aspect of our difficulty around this is some of the complicated feelings of grief that we have around what we're losing, because we're losing things, and the world that we knew, for those of us who are older at least, but probably even for those of us who are younger, it's gone.
I think the reason why it's important that we go to all these events and we experience all these places and these people is because they have a lot to teach us, and we have a lot to learn.
There are always people looking for people to do the work. Just show up with a passion. Don't try to tell people what to do. Just show up and ask, how do I help? And they will give you an opportunity to help. You're here tonight because you're willing to do the work. You want to learn how to do the work. And I think this is the majority of our community. They want to do it.
There's no way I can do any meaningful action toward climate justice without doing it in community. We're in this together and we need each other, and there's no way we're going to move forward without that understanding.
Watching life-giving farmers doing conservation agriculture begin to nurture the land, and then the land suddenly bringing forth 300%, 500% of anything it ever gave.
We are as smart as the people who created the systems we live in now. We are as creative and smart as them. It's not written in the sky anywhere that it has to be this way forever. It doesn't. We can change it. We have to. We must.
I think before this trip, I considered myself to be a writer who's concerned about climate change, but it wasn't my thing that I was working on. And I've sort of realized on this trip that to a certain extent, it's something that we are all going to be working with.
I've just become a stronger person in general when it comes to that kind of resilience, and I think that's really going to impact anything I do, from a career to school to more bike touring.
It's just seeing how everything comes back to climate, talking about racial justice, talking about indigenous rights, talking about immigration. To see it behind so many other issues is a real surprise and something that I think I will carry with me for a long time.
I think it's just the start for everybody, and it's not, we get to DC, we finish the cross-country trip, and now everyone's planning what happens next. And that's really what matters out of this. It's not really just what happened here, it's what everyone does with this for the rest of their lives.